Hey y'all. Alrighty. She's done it. The 94 Dodge Ram 3500 has made it towing the camper to South Carolina. And I'm making an improvement. Been cleaning on the interior quite a bit while I've been here. Lots of dirt has been evacuated out of here. I mean, look at the pedals down there. I mean, it's just it's pretty amazing, really. So they were so nasty, but everything on here, the door panels, everything was just really nasty. So I've been cleaning a lot in here. Um, I'll go ahead and show you. This is maybe some people would consider this crappy, and but they actually do work. It's these paper deflectors. My air conditioning works. It's just that right now it's blowing it. It's not blowing it out of these vents in the dash. It's just blowing it out of here, up here on the defroster vents and down in the floor. So what I came up with as a temporary fix is just these right here. So they are just temporary. I will be taking the dash out, but that's going to have to wait till I get back home. By the time you get this video, I will probably be doing that job. I will be home. So, however, just a little heads up. This is a, just as a little heads up, this is a job you can do yourself. You can, not talking about the temporary repair for the vents. Okay, I'm talking about, while it is cool to have like a D series Dodge truck, they're cooler. These trucks to me are pretty cool as well. And you know what? This one towed the camper several hours to South Carolina from Tennessee, and has been doing a fantastic job doing it. So, now, as most everybody knows, commonly knows, the V10 is not a very fuel efficient engine. Oh, just wanted to go ahead and say a little commercial here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing, the likes and the shares. I really seriously appreciate it. It is really helpful to get that, and it really helps out the channel, and I do tremendously appreciate it. Seriously, I do. Now up over 2,040 something subscribers, and it's like every time I look at those numbers, it's just like, wow. So again, I really do appreciate it. Can't thank you enough. But let's get back to this, okay? So the air intake system that was on here got its air right here. It came down, and then it had this kind of convoluted tube that came up, and it was getting its air right here. Not from this area, but from right here. Not bad, but I think I can improve on that. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some exhaust tubing, an elbow right here, and then this rubber boot, and then another piece of exhaust tubing down here. I already have made some brackets that I'm going to use with probably some hose clamps. I'm going to modify the transmission cooler a little bit more to shift it over a little bit and get it out of the way. I've already went and replaced the transmission cooler hoses here. They were original and I really didn't like the look of some of the tubing, the metal tubing, especially on this end down here. Some of it was starting to rust and rot and corrode. So I was like, nope, that stuff's got to go. So there we go. Okay. So I'm going to take this thing loose, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this piece out here a little further out so that it can grab more of the cooler air that comes through my bumper opening here. And I'm going to make a little modification. I've already enlarged these holes a little bit. I may enlarge them some more so I can scoot this cooler over just a little bit that way. And if I can maybe trim this edge here down below this bracket, then that might help me out a little bit. So I'm gonna move this a little bit, do that trimming, and modify the holes a little bit, and I'll show you a little bit more. I'm gonna pause this while I do all of that, and I may show you a little bit of me in action there. All right, be right back. Okay, y'all. All right, let's give you a little update here. I got this moved out almost even with this. This is old exhaust tubing, by the way, from probably some sort of diesel truck, diesel pickup. I've been cutting on this here, cutting this flange, and one way I've been doing it is I've been cutting notches in the flange, and then a series of notches, then I bend these over back and forth and break them off. At home, I wouldn't do that. I would get some sort of, something, and I would cut this, but I've been cutting with this. This is it. This is all I've got to cut metal with, pretty much. So I got to work with what I got. Okay? It is what it is. Okay? So, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you these rubber boots. Got them from Home Depot. Been looking for like a 3.5 inch. That's what size this pipe is. A 3.5 inch rubber boot. I found them online. They're about like $50 a piece, which seems pretty steep to me for what is essentially a piece of rubber or silicone. So I went to the Home Depot's plumbing department and picked these up. I got 2 of them, and I paid less than $20 for 2 of them. So not bad. And they came with the clamps too. They came with the stainless steel hose clamps. They're actually not for automotive use. I do know that. So do not comment down below and tell me they're not for automotive use. They're not. The rubber will break down due to the heat and all of those sort of things. I get it. But I'm not near my house. I'm like several hundred miles away. And not only that, I don't have time to wait on a part to get there to my house or here and spend $50 to get it either. Okay, so all right. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there. But I'm going to enlarge this hole here. I've already enlarged it some. I'm going to take it out even further, like this one. See how much bigger that one is. I'm going to do the same here. That way it'll allow me to move this over, move the trans cooler over just a little bit, and should be okay. All right, I'm going to do that there real quick and let you watch. It's not that big of a deal. Just get the step bit, start going to work, support it. Whoops. Okay, that's good enough. It tried to bend the bracket. That's why I was holding on to the bracket too. So, okay. Alrighty. gonna work out pretty well right there. But before I go back home with this, I'm going to, I didn't even disconnect the transcooler hoses down there. They're rubber and they're like relatively new. Oh, on this end down here, I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me get that out of the way. I used 2 hose clamps and they're opposed to each other per line, and that worked out really well. It didn't leak on the way here. I think it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to take this tube out. I didn't make any modifications here to like this or to the radiator, but I'm going to take this tube out. There's a little bit of these metal shavings in there. I want to get that out and clean that out real good. And then once I get that done, then I'm going to get that done. Then I'm going to put it back in, and I'm going to clamp it to this bracket right here, and of course clamp it to clamp these down too. All right. So, and I may have one other little trick up my sleeve I might tell you about. So I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. All right. Getting a lot of this here buttoned up. These are all tightened down. I replaced the plastic clamp up here with just a stainless steel clamp. These clamps I got from Home Depot, and they're really nice clamps. So yeah, if you're getting hose clamps, I would probably recommend getting them from Home Depot rather than, or Lowe's, or any of your hardware stores, Ace Hardware, whatever, rather than going to like, because they have them in like a huge variety of sizes, you know, a lot more variety than what you might find at some of your auto parts stores. Same goes for like your zip ties. I got these bag of zip ties here, it's 100 to a pack, and they were pretty inexpensive. And not only that, they're actually made in Honduras. Yeah, that's what it says. How about that? Okay, they're actually pretty well made pieces. I've used them before, that brand before. I know, you know, you might think zip ties are zip ties, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm still using the filter in the box up here. So this is kind of a more better version of this. So the rubber coupling or boot I'm using right here, if I can get the there's a little label right here. I'll tell you what, let me let you see the other one. I got another one right here. Here we go. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I'm not sure if the camera is focusing on that. It's focusing on like everything else except that. But anyway, it's actually 3.5 inches inside here. So 3.5 inches across in here. So that works out perfect for the exhaust tubing that I'm using. Now, let me explain this for just a minute. This is something I whipped up in a hurry at the last minute, and I needed something. I didn't feel right about just leaving this open right here. So I put this sock on here, and it's literally a sock, an old sock I had. Cut it off and just zip tied it on there. I used this on the way down here through a lot of rain and everything else, and this was sitting a little bit further back. It was sitting back about right here, this end was. So I scooted it out here, and I think this is going to work out great. So let me get the transmission cooler down in here. Get this all buttoned up here. I think that's going to work. Let me get oh, wind blew my bag over. Okay. Let me get a couple of bolts in this thing, and let's see the finished results. Here we go. Let me get this bolt in. I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. We've got the transmission cooler in here. It's just clearing everything down here. So, which is really good. And I like that. So it's just clearing that. Me cutting away that flange helped out some too. And I scooted it over a little bit here, so that's nice. So that's this keep it right there to keep my hoses, my lines from getting a hole rubbed in them. There was nothing here. There was a long time ago. There was something here to keep the metal lines from. It was keeping them secure, but now there's not, and I'm probably going to put like another zip tie around that. Zip tie, wire tie, whatever you want to call them. I'm probably going to put another one or two. Okay, just checking on my doggie. She's over there getting herself a drink, so that's always good. So anyway, I've been thinking, I don't know how much good this is going to do me. This smog pump here, a lot of guys with the V10s, they just eliminate the smog pump, and I've been seriously considering eliminating it, but I notice on long hard pulls, my temperature does climb up there some by the factory gauge. And I'm kind of thinking, what if I was to take, here's the air intake for the smog pump. What if I was to take like this output from the smog pump and redirect it out here somewhere? Maybe I can, maybe I can't, I don't know. Maybe it'll make a difference. I think what's going to make more of a difference than that, though, for all of that trouble, I think, would be to have some sort of water or washer fluid bottle that would spray some water or coolant out here on the radiator. Maybe that might help. I don't know. But anyway, all right, I'm going to clean up all my stuff down there in the little trough, and that'll be that. That'll be pretty much it for the day. All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great one. And I would also like to say, if you're not subscribed, you might want to seriously consider it, because there is a lot of good content I'm putting out here, and when I get back home, I'm going to be doing more work on the $50 318, more work on the carburetor, the thermoquad. So yeah, I know about the crack right there in the alternator housing. It goes around here and it stops right there, so I know about it. Yeah, it's just something, it was there when we bought the truck, and the alternator still puts out great amount of juice and everything like that, so it's really good, really good. So I like it, even though it does have the crack in it. It's still doing a great job. Just monitoring it, you know, if it ever becomes really serious, you know. This alternator looks identical to the one on like the Magnum V8s and the Magnum V6s, so I don't think it's going to be hard to grab one of these from a parts store somewhere, or maybe even a salvage yard. And I've got 2 or 3 of them at home. So anyway, all right, I'm going to hope this whole setup over here helps me out with fuel economy, and because I need it. I need all the help I can get, especially when I'm towing. So there you go. All right. I thank y'all. Have yourselves a great day. God bless. And we'll see you later.